Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. And what I want to share with you today is how to film more videos quickly when it comes to YouTube. So stay tuned. I'll share with you these quick tips in just a minute. All right, so a lot of people are interested in getting more videos out. More videos out means potentially more search results. More search results means maybe more views, and more views could lead to clients, services, products sold, and more money and revenue for you. Now, if you're trying to get more videos out and you're trying to do it very quickly, there's a couple of main things and 3 tips that I want to share with you. Before we continue though, keep in mind that there's a lot of great freebies that we have that could help you expand if you're just getting started on YouTube, like YouTube niches that pay. There's some Pinterest ideas if you're into Pinterest, YouTube productivity hacks, mindsets of the rich, and explosive video view techniques and video formulas that convert. So check that out at our website at backstageincome.com, and you can head on over to the freebies section. So with that being said, let's hop on over to the glass board so I can share with you these 3 main tips. All right, so how is it that you get more video content out quickly? And it's by having 3 main things. Number 1, have everything set up. Number 2, kill the slack, be efficient. And number 3, automate. And I'm going to share with you these concepts. So number 1, what a lot of people do when you're just getting started, and me as well, if you've got a studio, so if you're looking at this from a studio perspective, or you're working maybe out of your home, make sure that everything is set up. And if you could have a dedicated room, let's say you have a 3-bedroom house, and what you could do is go ahead and take one of those bedrooms, if you live alone, and now you convert it into your studio for YouTube or for filming. And as you get into having this set up, the minute you go in, you can just flick everything with one circuit breaker or a power strip, and everything turns on, like your lighting equipment, your camera, it's all good to go. Just having 1 or 2 little setup things to right before you go filming to have it all ready to go will allow you to be much more efficient. So having it all set up rather than taking down the equipment and putting it back up, taking it down, putting it back up as you do filming. The other thing is if you do have to take it down, maybe mark it with tape or at least measure so you know, hey, how many steps and what time you'll become better at it. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is kill the slack and be efficient. And what I mean by this is, hey, if you can be more efficient, like let's say scripting, if you script out your videos, some people say do it. What I'm saying is understand that takes a lot of time. If you can cut it out, then do so. The second thing is let's go ahead and look at editing. I found this was one of the biggest things. Now we rarely edit. There's a few videos we edit when we do the cuts from different scenes. But other than that, if we can cut out the editing, like you might see some pop-ups here coming up, those are all automatically added into our videos. So I found when I cut this out and when I cut this out, I've saved a ton of time. Not to mention, let's just go a little up one. Research. So if you do have to research your topic, I totally understand that because that might just be the niche or industry you're in. If you already have the research because you might have been in that industry for 10 years and you have to do less research because you're already doing it or you have the know-how or the knowledge, then that's a good thing to kind of cut out. Maybe you're making some videos where you don't need research. So think about that, where if you can cut that part out, that may be beneficial to killing the slack. So cut out the scripting, cut out the editing. What else can you cut out? Well, maybe posting things on your website. So let's say you have a website or even posting on YouTube. If you can automate the descriptions and the titles, where now you've got the descriptions where you use a text expander, that can really help you out. And what text expander does is when you type in a hotkey, like let's say you type in TXT, it can go ahead and expand it to text goes here, and you can make it do whatever. You could have all this YouTube descriptions filled out for you. All right, so the text expander that I use is called Phrase Express. There are some other text expanders out there, and you could go ahead and get a few of them. I've tried a couple. I find Phrase Express, this one, it seems to be kind of the best. There is also Word Expander, but Word Expander I think is very pricey. I think it's called Word Expander. Phrase Express, maybe Phrase Expander. Let's just check it out. Phrase Expander. Let's see here. This one is very good. I did the test on it, but the pricing it's very pricey because it's usually focused on medical things. So I find that this one is really honed in and focused on the medical industry. So if you were to go ahead and had multiple computers and you're trying to actually fill in some variables, it's $149. So for many people, it's beyond the need. But in my case, what I do is have this phrase express. It works just fine. I can type in C date, it expands it, S date for things when I need the date. I can write in like an email and let's say email coaching, and let's say coaching here. I could go ahead and type in their name. It'll go ahead, boom, 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 boom. Write out that email. And you can do the same thing for your YouTube descriptions where, hey, you go ahead and write a few keystrokes and it'll fill out your YouTube descriptions with kind of a form field. And then the last bit of advice, and number 3, is to automate. If you can go ahead and automate the last part of your process, like let's say you go ahead and you add a video, well, can it go ahead and add it to your website? Can it add it to your social media? How can you do this? So automation is key, and one of the things that we use is Integromat. It's really powerful to setting up this process, and that way we can get things scheduled out and moved into the different spots as needed. So here's kind of how this looks like, and as we add something to Airtable, which is basically like a database, what that does is then it'll take that entry and just like Excel, and then it'll push it to Google Calendar, then it'll push it to our WordPress, and then it'll create a couple of tasks for the team. And we do this also for social media posts. So take a look at maybe some social media posts that we do. So automation table, social media post to buffer. So here we go ahead and we look for all the social media posts that we have. It'll do some error checks and then it'll schedule it for buffer. We'll also do this for, let's say, push from here from our data store where we have social media posts. And then we also do this for any order entries and let's say sending signals, social media content, emails, task lists. Here's one for coaching emails. So let's say we add a coaching email to our database and records, and then it does send out a quick little email to a coaching client with, hey, here's your files, here's your details, because we've already added it in to download, and just boom. Setting up these processes can really speed up the task list, and that's why if you've got a website that you're tying in with your YouTube channel, that can be really powerful by having any kind of new blog content that's created. You could go ahead and create kind of new social media posts. You can create new records or even add it to your website. So anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. Those are kind of the 3 main things that I would look at if you're looking to be really efficient, pump out more videos and get more content kind of done. And really it's, have everything set up, kill the slack, and automate those things. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to grab some of those freebies here by clicking the link right over here. Check out some other great videos or subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.